Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. BTH&T, and I'm CW in the dungeon. It's been, by the time you see this, it's been 6 months since I've been on YouTube. Gonna give it another 6 months and see how it goes. So we're gonna start a new thing. and I dig up a lot of stuff and I have many sources, including the internet. So most of you can check these facts. Volume 1, you gotta be me. Yeah, don't worry. I took it out because Todd watches this. Okay, so these are fun little facts, tidbits, and you got to be really something special for me to notice them. But it might lighten your day, or at least give you an excuse to strike up a conversation with some girl you might want to ask to the prom. And you probably should start working up that courage right now, Todd. I'm gonna comb through your hair. So, number one, for generations, which would be at least 20 years, 40 in some counts if you're biblical. When toilet paper was invented in Wisconsin, it was about 33 years for them to work out all the bugs to this product before they could start advertising the rolls as, ouch, splinter free. Yeah, if you're a morning guy, this gives me a whole brand new reason of ouch. Sorry, son. So, getting ripped off from the Coca-Cola machine, or God forbid, Snickers bar, twice as many people are killed, cease to exist. They're killed by vending machines, twice as many times as they are killed by sharks. I live just miles away from the shark bite capital of the world, and I guess they fall on you. I've seen dingling. You've seen them pushing the thing back and forth to shake it loose. All right. In 1847, yes, Todd, that's the middle of the 19th century. We went over that. A man by the name of Charles Isham, Isham, of England. So he's a sir, or was in this case. He introduced the English countryside and people to the idea of, Sarah, this is for you, garden gnomes. I know. I probably hit a nerve with some of you people who go like to the Barberville Outdoor Emporium, but that's not the real funny part of this. Do you want to know why he started collecting these things, putting them out in his yard? He wanted to attract real gnomes. 19th century, not long ago. Boy, I'm getting tired of this. This isn't funny, but it is kind of weird because we think of ourselves now, us humans, as a pretty well advanced race. Every now and then, though, I'm surprised by what we do that just brings us right about down a notch. Jackson. There are 27 million slaves in the world today. That's twice as many that were taken from their homes in Africa over a 400-year period. You worry about global warming. I think we got other things to worry about as a race. Speaking of us, the first part of the human body that develops, it's not fingertips, that develops inside a woman's womb. Sorry, I'm using the wrong noun for you, but Tufsky Shitsky is the bottom or the anus. I guess that makes assholes out of us all. Some of us stay that way. I knew a guy named Mike, he was paid to be one. That's what he told everybody. On Kitty Hawk, when the Wright brothers successfully made their first flight, you remember the one with the little picture of the guy holding the wing and breaking away as it went down the rail? You know who recorded the eyewitness account and put it in print first? New York Times. Nope, wrong. The Washington Post. Wrong again. Sorry, Jeff. The correct response is, I have to look at it again because it's Gleanings in Bee Culture. If this guy was a YouTuber, there would be better pictures. There's only that one. You have to ask why mainstream media is failing. Hell, they never had good taste. The New York Times had to issue an apology. Well, they didn't have to, but being good sports, they issued an apology when the moonshot was on its way back. They said, okay, Robert, yeah, I guess you can fly in space in a vacuum. But yeah, the B guys got the jump on everybody. Go ahead, and I'll wait for you. You're going to go search engines up. Go ahead and look at that. I got a moment. Okay, well, we'll stay with the press. This time, the New York Times reported Albert Einstein's theory of relativity. You know, matter equals, oh no, excuse me, energy equals matter times the velocity of light square, which is, 34,596,000, blah, blah, blah. Do you know what kind of reporter made that story, wrote the article? Science editor, right? No, no. Economics? No, not even close. A golf reporter. Golf. I wonder if he thought it was a birdie or a bogey. I don't know. Yeah, a funny thing about riots, coming up to our next thing, everybody's a little different. I mean, we all tend to, oh, it was a riot at the cell. Well, there are a number of requirements for a riot, so stop exaggerating. In England and Wales, the civilized countries across the pond, has to be at least an even dozen people involved to make it a riot, officially. The United States, we're more rednecky. Only three. Three people are required to make a riot. State of Nevada, the requirement's even less. Two. I got to tell you, as a law enforcement officer, retired law enforcement, we call that a fight. Just me. I don't get it. Just me. I know. You've been waiting for it. Okay. Where's the pee? Where's the blood? Where's the spit? Here it comes. I can't make a video without it. Did you know that the human body, yes, yours, in its saliva, there is a simple painkiller known as opiafen. Opiafen. Yes, your spit has a drug compound in it that is, believe it or not, 6 times as potent as morphine. I gotta tell you, I'm not feeling it. Maybe we're just all junkies and we need more spit. I don't know. Go ahead and Google it. You can. One of the highest crime rates in the world is in New York. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Chicago, sure, they got a high one too. Los Angeles, absolutely. But it's not as high as this one. Got to remember how the numbers work. It's usually based on population and number of crimes. I know, I can hear the wheels turning. Based on the numbers, it's where the holiness calls home, the Vatican. With just a population over 800, it has over 600 crimes reported a year. It ranks right up there. Now, keep in mind, keep in mind, they see hundreds of visitors, thousands of visitors a year. And a large portion of these are those, um, you know, Protestants. Trust me, they're taking more than just pictures. Wink, wink. Okay, and let's see. While this drug works well with humans, doesn't work well with fish, Prozac makes them very pissy and angry. Who pays for a study like this? Why are we wasting a pill on a fish? What? What? See if you can get the tuna to float to the top, make it easier to catch. Oh, I don't get it. Canned food was placed in production, and it's a marvelous thing. Finally, saving canned food, easier to ship, blah blah blah. Store. You know what would have been good? A can opener. This thing wasn't, the can opener wasn't invented for 48 years. 48 years after we made canned food. They had to open it up with like a hammer and a chisel. That gives a whole new meaning. What is mom doing in the kitchen? Oh, she's cooking. Really? It sounds like she's putting up a shelf. We're the human race. We played basketball for almost 30 years before we realized, hey, let's cut the bottom out of that peach basket. Won't that speed up the game? By the way, invented by a Canadian for women. Wink. Oh, what else? Oh, yeah, it's the same thing. Why did you invent a screwdriver? Well, to drive in screws. Well, next time, why don't you invent those first? Initially, screwdrivers were used to pull out nails. Are you sure about that mother of necessity thing? Maybe we should start looking at roadmaps a different way. I don't know. And finally, 1969. Did you know that the Apollo 11 spacecraft, yeah, the one coming back from the moon like a distance of almost 239,000 miles with Buzz Aldrin, Neil Armstrong, Michael Collins, it took less time for them to get back to Earth than it did in 1769 to go from Boston to New York by stagecoach. We're doing okay travel wise, but next time, before you make something to store something, I want an opener first. Ziploc bag, that's a good idea. I like that. Maybe I'll do something on that. I don't know. I hope today is good for you. If you like this kind of stuff, please tune in again. It's not going to get any better, but you can at least get a laugh out of it, I hope, or use this information sometimes. Usually do history, do books. One of these days I'll take a trip. I want to do some tall tale things, probably on some voodoo up in Jacksonville one of these days. But if you like it, subscribe. Love to see you. Love to hear comments. If you don't like it, love to see a comment anyway. So that's it for today. I'll see you tomorrow. Well, this is not history, but it is trivia. Now it's history and it's all in the past. See you tomorrow.